So we are graphing linear functions where the highest power of x is a 1. Yeah, so it's just an x, not x squared, not x cubed, no, just x to the power 1. And we realize that if we graph a linear function, we are always going to get a line, okay, a straight line if you like, yeah. We need 2 points to draw a line, but we always find 3, at least 3. Of course you can do more, but at least 3 just to check, to make sure we didn't make a silly mistake, yeah? That's what I've done in my previous videos. And now we're going to graph these 4 linear functions, and I'm going to do it relatively quickly. What do I want to do then, after graphing it? I want to compare the lines, and then I want to see, okay, how does that relate to the function, okay? So if I look at the line and if I look at the function, what do I notice? Okay, that's the objective of this video. So we're going to make a table of values for the first one, y equals x. And in my previous video, I've done that one already. It's the most basic one you can get. Yeah, y equals x, then if x is 0, y is 0. If x is 1, y is 1. And when x is 2, y is 2. Okay, and if I plot those points, I notice they're all on one line. So I didn't make a silly mistake somewhere, and that's why we do at least 3 points. And okay, there we go. I graph it, not too small, nice and big, and I label my line. Let me do that in pencil. Hopefully you can see it, guys. Y equals x. Can you read that? That is the line y equals x. Okay, moving on to the next one. Y equals 2x. Now if I take, let's say 1 for x, it's going to say y equals 2 times 1, which is 2. If I take 2 for x, 2 times 2 is 4. And let's take minus 1 for x, 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Let me plot those points. 1, 2, it says 2, 4, and minus 1, minus 2. There we go. And again, I check, are those points on one line? Yes, they are, so I didn't make a silly mistake. Yeah, because a linear function is always a line, a straight line, and anything else, then I made a mistake. Yeah, so I check my work. Y equals 2x. Okay, you guys do this with a sharp pencil, if you draw it. Okay, there we go. And I noticed, that's what I showed you in my previous video already, that that second line is steeper than that first line. Yeah, is that what you see? That first line, if I had to cycle up this mountain, I'd rather do that than if I have to cycle up that mountain, yeah, because this mountain is steeper. Okay, moving on, y equals a half x. Okay, table of values. Now let's say x is 0, then y is a half times 0, that is 0. And if x is 2, then y is a half times 2, which is 1. And when x is 4, a half times 4 is 2. You see how I've picked even numbers, yeah, to find or to complete my table of values, because even number times a half is going to give me a nice whole number. Yeah, if I would have picked an odd number, I would create all these fractions for myself, which would also work, but this is just, I don't know, I'm just doing myself a small favor. Anyway, 0, 0 it says, 2, 1 it says, and 4, 2 it says. There we go. And if I graph that line, and that is the third line, if I compare this line to my other lines, what can I say about that line? Well, this one is not very steep, is it? A half x, yeah? I'd rather now cycle up the line y equals a half x. And naturally, you realize that in front of the x there is a 1. So we've said that this line, 2x, is a lot steeper than 1x. And the line y equals a half x is the least steep of all, because half is even less than 1 and then 2. Okay, so that coefficient in front of your x, yeah, that number in front of your variable decides how steep a particular line is. Okay, the bigger the number, the steeper the line, yeah, and a fraction, yeah, makes it even less steep. But what happens if I have a negative number there, minus 2x? Now let's find out. Yeah, so I'm going to plot, or going to find 3 points. Let's say x is 0, minus 2 times 0 is 0, x is 1, minus 2 times 1 is minus 2, and I'll take minus 1, minus 2 times minus 1 is 2. So I'm going to plot those points, 0, 0, also going through the origin, 1, minus 2, and minus 1, 2 I've said. And if I check that, indeed all 3 points are on one line. There we go. Y equals minus 2x, label your line. And what do I notice now if that number is a negative? Well, then my line is going down. You see that? So those first 3 lines, they are going up the mountain, but the negative number in front of my variable, I'm going down the mountain. Okay? Good. Coordinate geometry. I'm going to explain this in much more detail. Okay? But now it's already useful that you realize that that number in front of your x says something about the steepness of the line. The bigger the number, the steeper the line, and a negative number, it is going down actually the line. Okay? Hopefully that was useful. Do I want to say one last thing? Yes, I do. All lines go through the origin. You see that? Because plus 0. Plus 0, there's nothing behind the x term. Okay? In my next video, I'm going to show you what happens if you do have a number there. What effect does that have on your line? Okay? Linear functions, drawing functions, explainingmaths.com for more free resources. I'll see you later, hopefully at the next video. Bye bye.